They want us to go through React Router version 6, that is its basics and how to use it. So if you remember in the last tutorial, we just installed a demo app using npx CRA, which is the Create React app template. So that's all we have. We haven't changed anything yet. So let's get into it. So what do you need for this tutorial? You need a React app, the one you created. You can just use npx create reactor, npx create react app, and then give the app a name. This is what I mean, and this is what we did in the last tutorial. Npx create react app, and then give the app a name, and then click enter, and you'll have your app. So from there, you need a good understanding of what components in React are, just some tiny understanding, and ensure you have the JS installed. So from there, let's just explain simply what React as a single page application is. So if you look at the files we have, you'll notice in the public folder, we have only one .html file. And this is the file that gets rendered anytime the React app is called. So what happens if we have more than one component? Do we create a new index.html file? No, we don't create a new index.html file. What we do is we use React Router to be able to navigate through the various components, and then the components are rendered because the index is what is rendered, and then the app comes up. So having mentioned that, how do you install the React Router? So this is how you install the React Router DOM. So for me, I've already installed it. So you need npm install. If you're using yarn, just go for yarn install, or yarn add, not yarn install, yarn. So React Router, and then DOM at version 6. So we'll be using version 6. So DOM at version 6, and then click enter, and you'll be able to install your React Router DOM. So let's go ahead now and try and set up. I think I typed it wrong. It should be not DOM, but I typed this wrong there. And also we forgot to add our screen size a bit. So let's reduce that. So it was already installed, so there is no anything. So you'll just see it has completed. So that's it. So we close that. We're already running our app. So this is just run by npm start. That's how you run your app, so that it picks up the changes. Then to redirect to port 3000 if there's nothing on port 3000. So you see starting and all that goes to port 3000. So this is the beginner, the one that you have for the files on React. So don't worry about that. So let's look for, you can close the public. Let's go to our source and look for our index.js. So this is a beginner file, the one that is created by CRA template. So you can just delete that. And then with that, now let's add. What do we add? We need to add the React router. And what are we adding from the React router? We're adding a browser router, which will replace the React strict mode. So let's first of all import browser router, and you see it just picks it from React router DOM, and then let's replace this browser router. This one, browser router, and that should be all. And then if you go back to our app, it should still be working. Let's reload. So it's still the same, so nothing has changed. So that is the first change that we have to make on our index.js. We change to browser router, and that is all the changes we need to make in that. So now let's go and create various components. We're not going to go through the structure where we create a component folder and then have the components there. What we're going to do is, or let's just use the component. It's the best route component folder. Then the first file will need a home, will need an about, and we'll need a contact. Just the three files, just to so that we're able to just see how these operate. And then RAF. No, I wanted to use RAFCE. Yeah. This is our home component. We can just leave it as start. Let's create another one. Say that it will rename this. Components have to start with the curves. Don't want to type it out. RAFCE. Okay. And then let's add a contact.js, RAFCE. This one enjoyed me. Okay. What's the last one? The last one is about.js, RAFCE. So that should be all. We have our three files. We don't need the CSS there. So those are three components. That is what we were calling components. Now we need to define the routes. And where do we define the routes? In our app component. So let's go to app.js. This is where we define our components. I need to remove this header. Also need to remove this logo. I don't need that. And with that said, we need to import first the routes and the route from React Router DOM. And the routes is the container that holds the specific route. Every route, home will have its own route, contact will have its own route, and about will have its own route. But routes is a container holding them together. So before I confuse you guys, let me just go in. So import, what do we need? We need routes, route from React Router, and we also need routes. So the first one, routes. So that's all we first need from that. So we have removed the header and all the beginner files. Now let's add in our container. As I said, is routes is our container. So there, and then here we put in the specific route. First of all, we'll have the home page. So the home page, or the page, the first page that will be rendered, is represented by the slash. So that this is the first page that will be rendered. No, I didn't want to do that. Wanted to do that. So what will be our path? You always have just two components or two elements of the same, of the route component of the route. So we have path, which is what will be rendered, and then we have the element, which is a component. So route, the path path is slash. So this is the first page that will be rendered, the path, and then we have our element. This is our element. What will we have in our element? As you said, the home page is what will be rendered first, home, and then it just auto imports that for us. So from components slash home. The second route is, so just do the same route. We have path. What's our path? Our path is slash. Our path is about. Then our element will be element will be element will be about. We need to import that about. Not sure why it did not auto import for us, but it's okay. We can just import about. So the final one is the contact. So it's necessary to do them so that you are able to get a gist of them. Contact. Then what's our element? Element is contact. Contact. I think that's a component if I'm not wrong. But let me spell contact or what happened here? Copy. Let me just copy. Just give me component and then contact. Okay. I think we have all our routes in, and you notice if you've used React DOM or React Router version 5, you realize we are not adding in the exact which we had on React Router version 5 and the switch. So that's a bit better. At least we have less to type in. So the path will give us where the page needs to go, and then the element is a component. So with that done, now we need to link all these pages. So let's just look at our application so that we ensure here could not find home.js because I think because it had crashed the first time. Let me just go ahead here. It should not be home. This should be home. Now I can go to I need to go to the home page and just create links for the home page because we need to link and see if the other pages are working. So this is home. So let's use link. The link from React Router DOM. Ensure you import that or it will not work. And then you need to put a to, which is the part to which it's going. So what page are we going to? We're going to about. Is the about page, and then let's just close there. And then what do you want here? Click to navigate to about. Then link to contact. Click navigate to contact. I think I placed this in the wrong place, so let me remove the div and place the div there. That should give us an okay. So let's go. So let's go to our app here. I needed at least to separate them, but forgive me on that. So if I click to go to about, I go to about. If I click back, if I want to go to contact, I go to contact. So ladies and gentlemen, that is how you use React Router DOM version 6. We have just gone through the basics, that is the routes and the router and the browsers, and then how to navigate. But there is much, much more on React Router version 6. So you can go and look at the documentation. We'll place that in the link. Muchachos, adios.